I am Rohel, and in this part of the video, I will explain two things. First of all, I will explain what is biology and its field of study, and secondly, how did life originated on Earth. Oh, okay. I was wondering what is biology? Well, biology is the science of life. Everything that biology studies is basically life. Everything about, for example, history, biology studies. The composition, the growth, the reproduction, and everything. The word biology comes from the Greek word bios, that means life, and logos, that means study. There are various biology areas. Some of them are the genetics, the zoology, the biochemistry, the botany, etc. All of these areas studies different parts of life. Hey, talking too much about biology made me get a question. How did life started on Earth? Come with me. We have so many theories about how did life originate on Earth. I will tell you one of them. Theory says that life began at the deep sea, specifically at the submarine hydrothermal vents. These hydrothermal vents expelled hydrogen-rich molecules. These molecules started to concentrate more and more together and then provided mineral for critical reactions. After that, the life in the ocean started to evolve, making more complex cells and then more complex organisms. And soon they started walking on the sea. That's all for me. Thank you. Next.
Maybe you have been wondering, how do I know something is alive? And the answer, as usual, it will be like if it moves, if this organism do a certain thing, and let me tell you that you are wrong. That's why I'm going to explain the 8 characteristics that a living thing have. First of all, it is made up of cells. That means that every single characteristic has cells. So if you saw something and you don't know what is that thing that you saw, you can go take a sample of it and go to a laboratory, saw it in a microscope, and if it has cells, it is a living thing. And if it doesn't, it is not a living thing. The second one is the genetic code. It means that every single living thing has DNA, and it can pass from one generation to another one. The third one is that they respond to stimuli. And what does that mean? It means that the organisms, like for example, they respond to light. Like if a plant is there and they need the sunlight and you move it from another place, the leaves gonna like return itself to the light, like they're going to move to the light, and things like that. The fourth one is the metabolism. The metabolism implies the destruction and the formation of new molecules, the use and obtain of energy. The fifth one is homeostasis. Homeostasis is the self-regulation. One example is the body temperature. Like they have to regulate the body temperature to maintain or to preserve the vital functions of it. The sixth one is the reproduction. A thing can reproduce sexual or asexual. Sexual is the way multicellular organisms reproduce, and asexual is the way bacteria reproduces. The characteristic number 7 is that they grow. Like organisms increase their size, and that means they grow. The 8th one is the adaptation and evolution of a species. The world is changing. The world has changed. The world is changing, and the world is going to change. And the organisms have to adapt themselves to survive. Also, I'm going to explain the difference between an eukaryote and prokaryote cells. The main difference between them is that eukaryote cells have a cell membrane. That means that they have nucleus, and the prokaryote cells doesn't. The prokaryote cell is an unicellular cell, while the eukaryote cells is a multicellular cell. The advantage from the eukaryote cells is that they have they are specialized cells. There is a specialized cell for different things, and the prokaryote cells, like one cell does everything. That's why there are unicellular cells that they survive by itself, and the eukaryote does.
So hi, my name is Adrian, and in this part of the video I am going to talk about the history of the microscope, the history of the cell, and the cell theory. Humanity has increasingly expanded his knowledge about the cellular characteristics thanks to the microscope. So the first microscope was made by Zacharias Janssen in 1590. This was his microscope. It was able to make the picture more bigger 3 to 4 to 9 times. Then we have the microscope of Robert Hooke in 1665. The microscope was able to make the image bigger like 50 times. And then we have the microscope of Anton in 1684 that make the image bigger 200 times. So the scientists in the 18th century were able to correct the defects on the microscope of Anton, and in the 19th century they were able to perfect the microscope. We are going to start with the history of the cell. Robert Hooke published his observations with his microscope. He saw in a tissue of pork oak that there were small spaces, and he said that it looked like chambers, so he called them cells. And then we have Anton Van that he published his observations with his microscope. He saw more detailed the cells and classified them in protozoa, spermatozoa, and then we have Johannes Evangelista that he was the first one to introduce the term of protoplasm, and he was the first one to describe the cellular cytoplasm. That's the stage. We have the cell theory. So the postulates that the cell is morphological and structural unit of all living things. Then we have the omnicell-like cellula. That means that a cell comes from another cell. Then we have the cell is the psychological unit of all life. And then we have the cell contains the hereditary information. And for the last one, we can add that the diseases start from the cell.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and today I'm going to explain you cell transport and levels of organization. Well, let's start. Okay, there are 2 main types of transport: passive transport and active transport. Okay, passive transport involves the transport of molecules from regions of high concentrations to regions of low concentration. No energy is used in this process. Okay, there are 3 main types of passive transportation. There is simple diffusion, osmosis, and facilitated diffusion. Okay, simple diffusion is the tendency of molecules to spread from regions of high concentration to regions of low concentrations. This movement is due to concentration gradient. This is the difference in concentration between 2 different regions. An example: when you spray perfume in the corner of a room and eventually you can smell it everywhere. Okay, the second type, osmosis. Osmosis is the diffusion of water across selectively permeable membrane from a region of high water concentration to a region of low water concentration. Then we have number 3, facilitated diffusion. Okay, facilitated diffusion is similar to simple diffusion, but it involves molecules diffusion quickly across the cell membrane throughout transport proteins. Facilitated diffusion only works from high concentration to low concentration. A transport protein binds to the substance on the side of the cell membrane and then releases on the other side. Well, then, active transportation. Okay, active transport involves the transport of molecules from regions of low concentration to regions of high concentration, and energy is needed for this type of transport. Well, active transport